Merry meet, friends! For the last 4 weeks of Radical Retro Turtle Toy Talk, we've been revisiting previously written columns updated to video format. However, it's now time to start back up with brand new reviews, and this one is going to be a bear of a brush-up. Get ready to meet the colossal coon bear combatant called Panda Khan. Panda Khan is actually a character from an independently existing comic created by Dave Garcia and Monica Sharp. Like Stan Sakai's Usagi Yojimbo, this Panda Bear Paladin was not created specifically for TMNT. Panda Khan, whose comic book real name is Li Yang, would likely have appeared in the original toon, but the involved parties could not come to terms as far as character rights go. Panda Khan's quote on the front of his box, "I am no one's pet," is actually a throwback to one of his original comics. Naturally, his backstory in his comic and his file card are pretty different, but I'm sure we'd all rather move on to playtime with the figure than listen to me give a long history lecture. Panda Khan is pretty much exactly what his name implies, a humanoid panda. You don't see a whole lot of his black and white fur due to being covered up by a lot of samurai-style armor. Over a gold chainmail shirt, he has on blue and green vest-like chest armor. He wears blue shoulder armor on each of his upper arms, with similar pieces on each thigh. Both of his wrists feature red gauntlets, and both of his shins are protected with red guards. The only noteworthy thing about his teal-green pants are on the backside, where the copyright info actually features the names of Sharp and Garcia along with Playmates toys. It's great to see the original creators getting their due. As for Panda Khan's articulation, it's nothing new in the least. He has the same 7 points that almost all of the figures from the first TMNT line featured. He has a dynamically arched foot, which so many of the originals had, but his torso is not too top-heavy for his legs to support, which makes standing him up pretty easy. Panda Khan's weaponry is way less wacky than what we are accustomed to from a vintage TMNT toy. He has a Dragon's Claw sword, battle axe, fusion blaster, and go hook. The Dragon's Claw and the go hook look like pretty typical weapons of martial artist characters, at least as seen in Western pop culture. His battle axe is not exactly what comes to mind when I think of a samurai weapon, but I can wrap my head around it. The one that gets me is the fusion blaster. There's just something about a samurai panda packing heat that strikes me as just awkward, but his left hand is constructed to hold the blaster complete with finger positioned on the trigger. So what's your take on Panda Khan? Awesome Elaropoda or boring bear? I vote the former, but I'm always up for hearing what everyone else has to say. All you need to do is visit www.radicalretro.com, become a forum member, and share your thoughts with us. Radical Retro Turtle Toy Talk is a part of the Pop Culture Network, which is the perfect place to enjoy countless videos, podcasts, and articles covering everything you love, such as toys, comics, wrestling, TV and film, and so much more. Plus, the Pop Culture Network has its very own store, which contains cartloads of cool collectible commodities for your consumption. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you'll return next week for another all-new installment of Radical Retro Turtle Toy Talk. In the meantime, stay rad.